All right. We are live on the air. Welcome to Inside the Soundwave Internet TV show. We're on the beaches of Indialantic, Florida, where all your local musicians here in Brevard get to tell their music story from the beginning to the present, today. Our featured local musician today is a fellow that I've known for a while and a great musician. I'll tell you what, he just played some music a little while ago for us. This is John Aiello from Brevard County, from Satellite Beach. Let's have a hand for John. All right.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sponsors. We got a lot of sponsors today. We're getting more sponsors. If you want to be a sponsor on the show, give me a call, 321-505-1183, and I'll get your business on the show. We have Alternative Connection. Oh, these guys are great. See, they did my ear. Great fellows over on Babcock. I'm going to have some announcements about them. And we have the Florida Discount Music and Open Mic inside the store. And we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about Atomic Tattoo in the Florida Mall. We're going to talk about them too. And we're going to start off today with John. Great musician, been recording here at the studio for quite a while now, a couple years. Did a battle of the bands, a couple battle of the bands for us. John,
hey,
thank you. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. It's
Thank you,
wonderful
John.
to be here. It's just
Great to have
coffee and the donuts are just incredible. It's very good.
you. We're going to start off with questions, of course.
My questions.
We're going to start off with about where you started in the 70s. I think it was the 70s, somewhere mid-70s to...
Yeah, we don't want to go too far back, but yeah.
Well, the last guest, Dave Pastorius, we started in the 90s.
Okay.
And before him, with Kenny Cohen, we started back in the early 60s. And,
Man.
No,
I was a child of the 60s, so really wasn't... I think, as a child in the 60s, it was more like your parents want you to be like a Van Cliburn type of pianist, this type of thing. So I took the lessons. And I was also someone who sang big Andy Williams type music when I was like 10. My mother playing the piano. She was a pianist. But we're going into the 70s when I was starting to listen to some of the people that were big back then, like Cat Stevens, this sort of thing. And I wanted to play the guitar, so I picked up the guitar. My parents didn't really want me to. They wanted me to be like Liberace and this sort of thing, and I really didn't see myself that way. So I just saw myself as a multi-instrumentalist, and I just like playing lots of different kinds of music, lots of different kinds of instruments, and I'm not going to be Van Cliburn. No.
How old were you when you started to play an instrument?
I was 9. I started taking lessons when I was 9.
And what instrument did you pick up?
The piano. I was taking classical piano, and I was expected to practice every day. I found early on that I was actually very good at just improvising. And I could play a lot of music that I didn't have to just sit there and read the music and play it exactly like, Mr. Beethoven said. So I think this kind of like forced me to, it just made me realize that my gift was not really the classical trained musician, but someone that was more into like improvising and songwriting. Was
that here in Brevard?
No, I'm from Rhode Island originally, so I grew up in a little town, and I was just, just playing music for myself and my family. And
is there much music in Rhode Island? Is it a big music scene, or it's not much of a state? I mean, I know you can drive through it in 2 minutes. It's not much of a
state. Well, it's the littlest state in the Union. It's got a lot of character. It's a beautiful state.
Yes.
There's always been a music scene in Newport, which has the jazz festivals and folk festivals and this sort of thing. It's I would consider it the Boston area as far as, so Boston has a good scene.
Yeah, it's just south of Boston.
Yeah, it's 60 minutes, so it's basically part of the Boston scene. Yeah, Cape Cod.
And when did you come to Florida?
I came to Florida back in 1993. Actually, I came from, I was in Europe, and when I came back, I decided to go where it was sunny. When I came back, I never went back up north. I went right straight to Florida. And I ended up staying here primarily because I married a Florida girl, and Florida girls usually stay in Florida. They don't want to go north. So I was the northern boy that came to Florida and stayed with the Florida girl for a number of years. I had a family here. This is my new state since I've my kids are still here. And I love the weather, I love the sun, and I don't want to go up where it's cold anymore. So
did you come down here with your family? I mean, did you all drive down, or you just came down?
No, I just came by myself. I was in Europe, as in Spain, basically on a bicycle tour. I was just, living the free, for many years. I wasn't married, so into my late 30s, I was I could just basically do whatever I want. And so when you're like in that situation, anything can happen. So I just said, well, I can do anything. I can go to Europe. I can ride a bicycle. I can go to, so this is the way I lived for many years. I lived in California, New York City, Miami, Boston, and like I say, Europe, and then I got married. That all stopped after that.
When did you get married? What year?
1996.
Okay, so going back, you came down to Florida though by yourself. You said?
Yeah, it's always by myself.
You drove yourself down.
Yeah. Well, I just came over I came over on an airplane with a bicycle. So when I was first in Florida, I just had a bicycle. That was basically it, and then I worked from there. I still have the bicycle, actually.
What city in Florida?
One of the few things I got after the divorce. I got a bicycle.
How did you come from Rhode Island to Florida, and how did you pick? What city did you pick? Melbourne?
Oh, I see. The reason why, I got you. Well, I guess like a lot of people, my parents, they bought a retirement home in this area, Melbourne area, and that initially is why I came, over. I came over to. When I came back from Europe to Florida, I chose this area. Subsequently, I lived in Miami too. I just followed, the schooling. I went down to Florida International University, and so I lived in Miami for a few years. Then when I started having the little kids, it was time to come up back to the Melbourne. I remembered this area, and I wanted to raise my kids in a. I just like this area because it's got the access to the beaches and the nature, and it's a little different than if I was single again or didn't have kids. Maybe I would live in Miami. I like Miami. It's a very vibrant city.
Even today with all the population and overgrowth and everything in Miami, you still would consider that in Miami? Because I know it is a big music scene, but I heard there's more clubbing than there is live entertainment.
Yeah, I don't know about the music scene. I think it's more like I think I'd have to know how to sing in Spanish and Portuguese, and maybe Fort Lauderdale. It's a little different down there as far as the nightlife, and there's a lot of guys playing flamenco guitar, and they are playing more of a Latin music.
Uh-huh.
But I like a certain amount of Latin music. I do like Sergio Mendes kind of music. I think it's great. So. I just like all the different cultures.
Okay, now I just want to go one step backwards again to Rhode Island. Did you play in a band in Rhode Island at all?
Oh yeah, I was always in a band.
Okay, can you remember the first band you played?
Yeah, we were in a band called the Pleasure Hunters, and these were just friends that I actually went to high school with. Some of them, and we just would play originals. So we weren't gigging that much. We just enjoyed playing. Actually, we played a lot of stuff that was just hard to play. Like we were into the progressive rock stuff. So we were always trying to do things that were just impossible, like Yes or Emerson, Lake and Palmer or something like that, where it's just like it's not like your typical garage band. You just go out and play, practice a little bit, and then go out and play. So we were always just a work in progress, and just had a lot of fun with it. But we weren't actually gigging all that much. Like I say, because we were always trying to play, just like these concept albums and things that was just impossible. So.
All right. Well, we're going to be taking hold that thought.
Okay.
And I will get back. I will get back to you on where we left off. I just wanted to say, Alternative Connection. They're on Babcock Street in Melbourne, right near FIT. If you want to get tattoos, and you ought to see the store, nice and clean, nice job. They did my earring for me. Great bunch of guys, really good artists. I think they're one of the best in Brevard County. If you want to go over there and check out their store, they got a beautiful store over there on the second floor. I think it's the best one around, especially if you get around that Palm Bay area down there. You want to check this guy out. They got a really nice shop. Alternative Connection. All right? We're going to take a short pause. We'll be right back with more from John Aiello.
Walk with you.
You're supposed to pause. I hate this DVD player.
All right, we are back on the air with John Aiello.
That's right.
All right, John, we're going to get back to where we were.
Where were we?
Where were we? No, we were leaving Miami. I want to try to get up.
Miami.
First, I want at least a couple names of the bands you had in Rhode Island when you were growing up. Just shoot out some of the names if you can remember the names.
Well, like I say, it's hard to remember because...
One name?
Was I there? No.
Was I there?
I used to come up with the names. There was a band. We had one called the Pleasure Hunters, and this is because there was this show that used to be on. I don't think it's on anymore, but it was called the Pleasure Hunter, singular, and it was about this guy that would just travel around the world, and he was a pleasure hunter. He would just go. He would show you where the bars were and the girls, basically. And so I thought it was funny. I said we can be the pleasure hunters, and we would just be a guide to, like, where do you go to get pleasure in this town or wherever town you were in. So that was a name that we used quite a bit. As far as other names, I don't remember them all. We always had, names that...
what kind of music did the Pleasure Hunters play?
Well, like I say, they played... it was original. If I had a song... we had like, actually, little groupies... girls that would come see our, at our gigs, or actually just come to our, our house, and we'd have house parties and we would play, and we always just had like a little following.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. You had a little following. Let's get distraction.
Yeah.
Let's get back to now that we've got Rhode Island and some of the name of one of the bands. Let's get into Brevard. Where did you first come to? What city in Brevard did you land here? Did you finally settle down? Your first place.
The first place was Palm Bay. Okay. I guess, what happens, typically you would come down, your parents are there, then they go back up north. Well, I stayed. I said, I'm going to stay here and try to establish myself. I've got a bicycle. This is all I had. I'm 37 years old. And I got a job at a place called the Crow's Nest, and it had a deck, and I was a waiter there, and I was also playing music on the deck. And this is a story I guess I can tell. This is a story that how did you meet your wife, And it was a situation where I'm waiting tables, and this girl comes in the kitchen area and said, "This man here is a singer." She had brought in a whole group of people, maybe like 10 people, to see a guy that I think his name was Ken. Well, Ken had been canned. Ken was fired a couple of days previously. She didn't know, and there was nobody to play for her group of people. Well, I said, well, I can play, and I just went home. My home was very close, because why was it close? Because I had a bicycle, and I had to go back and forth. So I was able to go back and get my guitar, get my equipment. I guess by then maybe I did have a car. Okay, so I was able to come back. I set up and I played a set of music, and I guess she liked it. And I went and spent time with her. For that time on, it was just that was it. She had come the next week to see me, and I think she was at a point where she wasn't sure what she was doing. She was actually married at the time. She was going through a separation, and she was walking up the steps to the deck where I was playing, and she was about to turn around and go home and said, "No, this is not right." And as fate would have it, I started playing Sting song called what was that Sting song called? The one about the "You'll Remember Me." What's the name of the song?
Dreams, something with dreams.
Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams.
Okay, Field of Barley or something.
Yeah, right.
And
something like
that for some reason that was the thing that got her to continue going up the stairs, and so I subsequently from there had a family, and so I give Sting all the credit, for me having a daughter and a son, because of that one song. So thank you, Sting.
Yeah, he's quite a guy.
Yeah, I think I did send him a little, thank you card or something.
What year was that?
1995, yes. And the rest is history.
So you landed in Palm Bay, and you got a little place in Palm Bay.
Yeah.
How long did you stay in Palm Bay?
Not long, because once I met my future wife, I moved to Stewart, and I became...
Stewart, Florida.
Yeah,
Oh,
Stewart,
wow.
Florida. So I started in Stewart and got married. And then from there, it was just successive moves south. I lived in Palm Beach County for a while. And then our schools, she was going to Barry University, and so we ended up in Miami for a few years before we had the children.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was a mixed blessing in a way, because once I was married, I really didn't have the chance to play out much, because there was a perception that I'm in a situation where there's girls. I guess you interacting with girls and singing, and it was
You get one of these.
Yeah, it was sort of like, I don't want you to play in it, So, and there was a little compromise. I says, well, how about if I don't play at a bar where they have, alcohol, and I can play in a coffee house, coffee shop type. Oh, okay, there's the compromise. So I did play, I think it was called Java Central. I was like a local person that played at they had several different locations in South Florida, and I would go once or twice a week to these, I don't call them coffee houses, more like a coffee shop, I'm sitting there playing, and, it was just something that we had a compromise on, and I guess, it was, you have to just work, you have to work with what you got, so that's what I did.
So there was a time when you first got here in the Brevard that you didn't do a whole lot of playing. You kind of backed off.
I played at, like I said, I played at the Crow's Nest, and
Where's the Crow's Nest?
well, it's not there anymore. It was demolished.
Where was the Crow's Nest?
It was right in Palm Bay, on US 1. It was a beautiful deck. It was one of the nicest restaurants, but it just when the hurricane hit, of course, it got really damaged. And then I think it's condos now. They turned it into condos.
Right.
Was
it on the river?
It was right on the river. Great little place. Mm-hmm. But and there's not that many places where it's right on the river. There are a few new ones that are up towards the Pineda area, but before them there was nothing. It was like kind of like a hole because of that hurricane 7 years ago.
Oh, it was 7 years. The one.
Yeah,
the 04 hurricane.
Which
2004?
Yeah. Well, 2004. Okay.
Yeah.
Francis.
Francis and Jean and all of them. Yeah, and Aaron.
Yeah.
You still have Captain Hiram down Sebastian.
Yeah, that's true.
That's one of the biggest ones.
I know.
I'll
get down there.
That's the year that they all kind of ganged up on us, the Hurricanes that year.
Yeah.
And they kept coming in around us back through the back door, kind of, sort of.
Yep.
Yeah, it did a lot of damage, a lot of clubs, especially on the water.
That's true.
So you were were you with a band then? Did you have a band in the 90s that you played here in Brevard that you could throw out at the people?
Not in the night. Oh, yeah, the Pool Boys. I was in the Pool Boys
in the 90s.
Toward the late. Oh, let me think. When did that start? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, no, the Pool Boys was in after the millennium. Yes, we were after the millennium.
So you came. Okay.
I was probably just doing solo work mostly, just doing solo and songwriting. Always songwriting.
So from 95 to 2000, you were just doing a lot of songs.
Yeah, I was singing to my babies, just singing. They'd be like in their little stroller or whatever, and I would just play to them. And I, wrote songs about I got a song about my daughter, a song about my son, song about many songs about the woman I live with. Of course, you have to just to be in a marriage for 12 years or so, you have to. Come up with some new material on a regular basis. So, and I did have, and one of the reasons I did have a lot of songs. Most of my songs are about girls, and I do have a lot of songs that have girls' names. And I had to get a name that was my wife's name so that everybody's happy. We want to be happy. We don't want to sing songs about other women when you're in a marriage. So it's a real good idea to write songs about your wife. Yes, for sure. Absolutely.
Okay, we're going to hold that thought again. We're going to take a short break. I just want to let you know that Florida Discount Music has a lounge inside the store called Open Mics. Live entertainment. Original live entertainment. Great lounge. I tell you what, what a job they did in there. It's beautiful. Coffee and music, and it's incredible what Mike has done over there. I'm really happy for Florida Discount Music, one of the best music stores in the area. You need to go over and check out Open Mics. They have a schedule that you can get, and you can see who's playing, what day and what time. And on Saturday evenings, they have something going on Saturday evening. I believe it's 4 to 8. Give Mike a call over there. Florida Discount Music and inside the store, Open Mics. We'll be right back. We're going to have some music from John Aiello live. He's going to play a couple songs for us. Stay tuned.
Mr. Known for wars, blind devastation, finger fucking whores, lies lower elevation, cold sweaty morning, syringe it up, now we're feeling horny, load the pistol, meet the dealer, now it's time to steal a two in his chest, now take the rest, some for me and some for you, do what we do, wifey don't have a clue, don't worry about it eating you alive, just say your blessings 5 times, that things that we do, when you take control of me, you demons, the blessings that we need, when you take this hands, you and me, like just, the bad things that we do, when you take control of me, you demons, the blessings that we need, when you take this hands, you and me. Demons screaming at me through the mirror, something lies within my tears. Everyone around me lit up with fear when they see the hatred in my eyes. Throat like knots, sever the ties. Demon in the skies, not in the sky. The truth that lies, where does it hide? Who can tell me what is really going on? The only answer lies with God. Anyone above him is a fraud. All the protests lie beneath the sod. When his hand lets go of me, am I able to stay worthy? Someone help me, I'm going crazy. Things that we do, when you take control of me, you demons. The blessings that we need, when you take the chance, you and me. Like just, things that we do, when you take control of me, you demons. The things that we do, when you take control of me, you blessings that we need. Who do you think defends you and me? Blessings that we need. Who do you think defends?
I was standing at the bar when you asked me if I can dance. Do musicians ever dance? They got to know the beat. And I said yes. That's all I said. And I was out there on the floor, and you locked me with your eyes. They never looked away. Now it feels like a dream to me now, and it feels like though I remember everything. You said so we went out for some air, and I was drinking melted ice, and I wanted just to touch you. Being off the floor, but no, it didn't happen that way, you see. In my mind, I was feeling so refined. I was thinking about my songs, which one to play for you. Now it feels like a dream to me now, and it feels got the message. It was Easter, maybe you were out of time, and I wonder, would you call me? Or would I try again? I said, maybe. That's all I said. And in my mind, I was doing time, 'cause I wanted just to kiss you and walk you to the floor, but it feels like a dream to me now, and it feels like a dream to me now, though I remember everything you said. Thank you. Treat me so bad, I need to leave you, but I'll be so sad if I can't see you, 'cause I can't stand mad at you, no matter what you do, 'cause you got my heart, it's true, no matter what you. Sometimes I think, oh, I must be crazy, low self-esteem, oh, am I just lazy? 'Cause I can't stand mad at you, no matter what you do. 'Cause you got my heart, it's true, no matter what you. I never can blame you, the things you do, 'cause I know all too well how good intentions, they sometimes make things a mess, oh yes. My boyhood, but now my prison, that can't be good, 'cause I can't stand mad at you, no matter what you do, 'cause you got my heart, it's true, no matter what you do. I can't stand mad at you, no matter what you do. I can't stand mad at you, no matter what you do. I can't stand mad at you, no matter what you do. I can't stand mad at you, no matter what you do. You're cruel half the time and fool me the other half. You're mine half the time and fool me the other half. You're cruel half the time and fool me the other half. You're cruel half the time and fool me the other half. You're mine. I can't stay mad. Oh, I can't stay mad. Oh.
All right, wait a minute. No. Okay, we had some good music. I tell you what, I love listening to John. You ought to hear him record. It's really awesome. He's got some really good songs that he's been working on here at the studio. We're looking forward to hearing the end results on these songs. Really well. I really like your playing, John. It sounded really good. I'm sure the people are going to enjoy that.
Thank you.
Now, let's get back into where we were. I want to get past 2000 or get to 2000 and get into the Pool Boys because I like the Pool Boys. Maybe you can tell us how you got started here in Brevard with the Pool Boys.
Okay, well,
what year?
These are, probably 2005, I'd say, just as a rough estimate. But like I said, this all correlates with, being married and then being single again. So it's sort of like, when you go through a divorce and you're out of your house and you're single again, you basically, end up with a little more time to yourself. You have time to think about what you want to do with your life and have more time. And so I was more available to play out. And generally, at the Pool Boys, it really wasn't my band personally. I'm more like the keyboardist and singer and guitarist. As it is with a lot of bands, the guy who goes out and gets the gigs is the leader of the band because he's the one that gets the gigs and the money has to come in. So even though I'm kind of like the front person, I never really thought it was my band. But we've been playing for years now. Let me say about 5 years. No, more than that. About 7 years off and on. Mostly at the Kiwi Tennis Club, which has a really nice breezeway bar that a lot of people don't know. It's not just for the members there. You can go. It's called the Palm Cafe. Actually, it's got a real nice restaurant, and it's a real nice breezeway. Even when it's hot, there's just this nice air coming through there. And we used to just play right there. We still do on occasion. The reason we were called the Pool Boys, though, is initially because we only played at pool parties. It's not because we clean pools, but we would. Actually, I used to be a pool boy when I was in Stewart, but so I'm actually the only member who actually used to be a pool boy. But that's not the reason. The reason is because we always played at pool parties, private parties that had a pool, and we used to play right, next to the pool. Sometimes jumping in the pool, but we'd be close to the pool, and so that's why we got that name. Can
you name who are the band members?
Oh, well, Scott Gallett, who is really great drummer, is best drummer I know in the area. He plays, and we also I play with him, just kind of moonlight with him on the side. We do, duo gigs, and it's basically that. In that sense, it's I call it acoustic rock. It's just basic. It's me playing the guitar with the drums, and that's it. It's just acoustic rock.
And he plays the electronic set, right?
Yes, he does. He brings his own little pad. Sometimes he's missing a piece or this and that. I don't know why, but sometimes he comes in. One time we did a gig and he didn't have a snare, and he just made a snare out of a floor tom. I think he put like some CDs on top of it with some duct tape to make that snare. I don't know how he did it, but he's the kind of guy. He's a true. He'll just work with whatever he's got, and sometimes. There isn't like a full set, or so I don't know why, but sometimes I forgot my snare, or whatever. He'll figure out a way to. It still sounds good.
Yeah, and some of the advertisements I put on Facebook the past few days, one of the pictures of you playing at the Battle of the Bands, and Scott is right behind you. There's a good shot of him with his kit.
Yeah,
and the guy is fantastic.
And he sings too. He can do the higher level singing because my voice is kind of low. And he can sing those high things like Hotel California is one of his songs. Free Fallin' by Tom Petty. He sings those higher songs. What's the other one? Midnight Rider.
Yeah,
things that I can't hit. I don't know.
Now there's a drummer that can sing.
That he can sing. And he can sing high. He's got that nice, I don't know if it's called tenor voice. I'm more of a bass, I guess, but I do sing falsetto when I have to, but I try not to.
What was your last gig you had here in Brevard recently?
The last one was not in Brevard. It was in Orlando. I played at the Florida Natural Gas Convention, actually, 2-day gig in Orlando with the Pool Boys. That was our last gig, so it wasn't in this county, but it was in Orlando.
That's good.
And before that, it was at the Kiwi Club, I believe. And we do have another a pool party to do again next month. It's a private party. We like the private parties because there's usually like food and free food. We always go for the free food.
There's nothing wrong with free food.
I know, especially when they have these really good catering services
and pools.
Yep, we enjoy the pool, the food, and the free cocktails, whatever the band wants. We get So you want to hear some music? We gotta have drinks and food and keep it going. Otherwise we'll die.
Yep. Well, I wish. More people could hear the group, and more people could hear you because it's really a good blend of music. Didn't you say to me once you called it kind of a tiki bar music or some kind of music? You had some other kind of name you called it.
Happy Hour?
Happy Hour.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe it was Happy Hour.
Yeah, we are, and me and Scott are definitely interested in gigging, probably more than with the other. The other guitar player is Walter Wood. But he's
busy.
He's like I was before I got divorced, so he's still in that.
Oh, he's in this kind of mode.
With the kids,
he's in that kind of mode.
Yeah,
the kind of mode you used to be in there for a while.
Yeah, so me and Scott, we're a little more freer. So we're looking for the happy hour. We like to play gigs that are like 5 to 7:30 in that area where people get out of work, and they don't want to go out necessarily late at night. They just want to, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday afternoon, they want to stop into a bar, see some nice music, for a couple hours.
Right.
And then
the kind
we
of
get
music,
to go home.
The kind of music that you can sit and listen to, and without having to scream while you're talking to somebody.
Exactly. And so
Amen to that.
we're, and we like to play at these, I guess decks, tiki bars are the places where, you're going to have the happy hour. And the happy hours usually last 3 hours, I think, or more, sometimes more.
That's kind of nice
8 hours, 10 hours.
When you can walk into the place and order a drink or get something to eat and still hear the music playing.
Right.
And then still hear what everybody else is talking and saying, too.
Especially with all these divorced people in this county. I mean, you got to be able to meet people, and you're not going to meet someone with
screaming at them. Hey! Yeah, we had
kind of rap music going on where you just can't even hear yourself, and
Oh, I know. I'm with you on that.
We feel that we're providing the background music for maybe a relationship that can bloom right then and there in front of us. So we're I think we're providing a service, and we're probably not getting enough money for what we're doing. When you think, no, just kidding. Okay.
Some of the places around here, you know. Anyways, we won't get into that.
No.
Money-wise.
No, we don't want to do that.
Such talent in this area.
I know.
It's such a low pay scale. We'll get off of that, and I just wanted to say, how many guys? Now, there's 3 of you in the band, right? Or
no, there's 4.
There's 4.
Now, we have a bass player, also Fred Swalloff, very good bass player. So we've had always 4. We did have a girl play saxophone with us for a while. Her name was, I forgot. Her name's Sax Girl. She has a website. But she, again, this is the same thing where she's got like about 5 kids or something like that, and she just couldn't, this, I hate to say it, but the family thing is hard because the whole idea of playing out is you're going to be gone from the house, and you're going to be doing, something maybe late at night, and it's really not conducive to having kids that are very young.
Right.
I say once they're older, I mean it's not too bad. Kids, I would love to have my kids play with me now that they're old. My kids are like 15 and 13, and they're at the point now where it'd be great if they, my daughter plays the guitar a little bit. It'd be nice to bring her out and just say you play bass, or play the guitar or sing with us. I would love to include them, and then there would not be a conflict ever because the wife, get the wife in, have her just hit a tambourine or something, and then, there's no arguments.
Right, get involved a little bit.
Little shakers or something.
Yeah. Well, I know how you are about the little ad-libs on the music. Now, we're running out of time, unfortunately, but I want to say one thing. Just give them a brief idea about the song that I think is incredible that you wrote about a blow-up doll. I need to get that. I want to get this because I've heard a lot of music. I've produced a lot of music. A lot of music and no money.
Right.
But this is a song that John wrote, and he's recorded it here in the studio a couple of times when we revised it.
We're almost
in the process of
there.
getting it finished. Yeah. But it's about a blow-up doll. And, I mean, we've got video ideas, and John, just tell them just a little bit about the song.
The idea of the song, I don't really know where I think it just came from the fact that I'm single now, and I really didn't want to get into a relationship right away. And I tell people this because I'm motivated towards doing writing, not only music but book writing. I have a lot of things I'm working on, and during this time, I'm not actively dating or anything like that. I don't find that to be something I'm focused on right now. But the idea came where usually I'm singing about a girl. This is my song. There's this girl. It could be whatever her name is, Andrea or Sheila or whatever. And when I'm looking at myself, I always write about myself and what's happening to me. Well, I couldn't come up with a girl because there isn't any. There's no live person. So I decided to come up with an imaginary girl, or a girl that is somebody that is not going to give you the same problems that you've had in the past. She's somebody that is always going to be there for you. And she's she's always going to be right where you left her. And I just thought, it could be, it's a very strange, people think, it's funny and everything, but I'm not trying to be funny. It's more like a guy who is probably emotionally, just got, your guts are ripped out sometimes, going through relationships. And in this case, it's like a love song to a perfection of something that is not actually living and doesn't have blood in her veins. It's something that it transcends human existence. That's getting too deep. All right, it's just about a plastic doll. Okay,
cool. Well, hopefully, maybe by the end of the year, you might have that completed.
No, sooner than that, hopefully.
Sooner than
I got all the tracks. I just want to mix it. I just want to get a little better mix. It's a little complicated because it has a middle part where there's kind of a medieval ensemble trying to, there's lots of little things. So it's not it's not a normal song. I don't know, most
No,
of
it's
them
a
are
great
normal.
song. I can't wait till you put it out there.
Yeah,
I can't wait. It's gonna be great.
Thank you. Yeah, it's.
Especially if we ever get the video done to it.
I think a lot of people will be able to relate to it.
All right. Well, are you playing anywhere? Because we're going to close up here. Are you playing anywhere in Brevard in the near future, except any club and dates booked, or is there any place that people can go in the next few weeks or month, maybe, or any to see you, or are you just not?
Well, I'm planning on going over, like you said, discount.
Florida
Discount Music.
Go over and see Mike.
They've got the
he'd love
open mic. I would like to find places where I can play more original music, and some of these are like coffee shops, coffee houses, and I don't mind playing the happy hours. You have to play a little, Jimmy Buffett or Tom Petty or this kind of thing. But it's kind of like you're not really doing what you want to do completely. So to find these places like the Florida Discount Music that has that's great to get out and do.
Well, I'll tell
original
as soon as you find out and I hear about it. When we'll talk to Mike, you'll talk to Mike, and I'll find out when you're playing there, and I'll push that for you.
You gotta push a little bit.
That. Maybe we can get Scott in there too. Play some drums.
He'll come. I know he will. You just got to call him.
Well, we're going to conclude the show today with John Aiello.
Yes.
Great job, John. This is another tattoo place in the Florida Mall. If you're not in Brevard and you head over to Orlando, and if you're watching this from Orlando, go to the Florida Mall because the Atomic Tattoo is a great store. Another nice, clean place that you probably won't find too many around here in Palm Bay or around here anywheres. Check out this store. Mike Mascaro is a buddy of mine, and I think it's his son. Somebody. Anyways, check it out. It's a good store. Please give it a visit in the Florida Mall. If you're not over here at Alternative Connection, check out Atomic Tattoos over in the Florida Mall. All right, we're going to close the show today with my tie. No, we're going to close the show today with a thank you to John Aiello. Thank you for being here. I'll tell you what's going on with John. Thank you, John.
Thank you for having me. I had a great time. This is fun.
Great to have you, John.
It's really fun.
Great to have you.
Yes.
You can watch the show not live. It'll be available online after 5 o'clock today at iswtvstudio.com, at iswmusicstore.com, iswrecordingstudio.com, and ISW Recording Studio on YouTube. Wow. Go there and check it out. You got 4 sites. You can watch it anytime you want for free. Never mind the magazines.
Yeah.
Never mind. They don't talk to you. You got to read it with your glasses on. Check out John on there, and check out Dave Pastorius and Kenny Cohen and Ron Caddy, all on those sites. Thank you. God bless you. We'll see you next week with another good guest.
What you talking about? Thank you.